That's cool. All right, well, that concludes the cards. Hopefully you guys will take something from that discussion. Definitely good stuff. Lots of good tidbits there. But next, I wanted to talk about just arena events. Something that we just don't see in the community at all. We did have some lore. Lore of the Arena was like the first thing that we ever saw, and of course, there's limitations to that because Hearthstone doesn't allow you to really be able to build true arena decks. But we're starting to see. We saw this 110 thing that's was started with just as a bet, right, with Amaz, and I think it was just Hafu or just a group of you guys, and even you, Ratsmah, right? But the interest that we've seen in it, like on Reddit, it just makes me think that we should come up with something that's arena centric. Whether it is some kind of just more challenges, maybe it's just like how many 12 wins can we get with Hunter in a row, and things like that. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? I'll start with you, Ratsma.
Yo, give us anything.
Give us
Me and Hunter
anything.
especially. I mean, Crip plays constructed, so he's fine. We're getting bored out of our mind. We need something to like work on. And I mean, 110 is cool, but it's also just it's so much luck based, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys agree.
Mhm.
And I predicted that with 110, people would complete it if they got lucky enough to get offered the best classes over and over again. But actually, one person, Meth, I want to give him a shout out here.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
completed the 110 playing every single class, which is extremely impressive. And that's what I thought the
Mhm.
110 should have been in the first place. Is maybe 90 and 9, where you got to play every single class. But I mean, it doesn't even have to be anything like super challenging. Maybe we can have like a weekly thing where you play with the community as well, like streamers
Mhm.
and community. Everyone records their first 10 runs for the week, and then we kind of compare and we just have fun that way. Like anything would be good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
I think Blizzard really needs to step in at some point, and I think they will. It's just like a matter of whether they do it, next year or 5 years from now. And the 5 years from now option is obviously a bad one. Uh, but the game doesn't support arena on anything except a personal level, right? That's why the 110 is basically personal high score. It's a fancy way of putting personal high score, but it really is personal high score. Like Krip got like just last night, right? What was it, like 8 12-win runs in
Yeah.
nine runs,
Yeah.
which is insane. It's not
Crazy.
110, but the 110 is an arbitrary set of rules that
Mhm.
makes it an achievement, and so is getting 8 12-win runs in 9 runs playing whatever class, right? And this is the kind of stuff that whatever we do with that, that's all we can do because that's all that Blizzard has given us. When people try to run tournaments, it's extremely complicated, right? Like Lord of the Arena was forced to end up with five with 4 contestants because it just costs so much amount of time and organization to add even 4 more people. And just to even get 4 people in a tournament that's fitting under the time constraints with the drafting with everything, it's very difficult, and
Mhm.
you can't even do it in the client. You have to pull it out. Just so
Yeah.
many things are making like since I've started streaming, there's a lot of things that I get, people soliciting me for stuff now that they
Mhm.
think I'm a streamer and I know things about things or I know people or whatever. I don't know, but a consistent
Yeah.
solicitation that I always get are from these tournament sites that, by all accounts, look like very functional, good tournament sites who want me to partner up with them and run a tournament or something, and so they get publicity and they'll like
Of
pay me
course.
money or
Right.
something.
Right.
And every time I say, okay, this sounds great. Do you do arena tournaments? And they're like, what's arena? And I'm like, nope, can't do it.
I'm not gonna explain it
Feels
to
bad.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just if you don't
Exactly.
support that, I'm not like your software is not going to support this arena thing,
Right.
right?
It's
This is a very
absolutely. It's a
unique thing that
custom
you have
thing.
to do. Yeah,
Right.
right.
Right. Um,
So if Blizzard supported it in the client, these websites will pick it up immediately, and then we will have
well,
some kind of even like a local tournament scenes, small group tournament scenes, people who think they're good at arena tournament scene, like
yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
Like there'll be stuff, but Blizzard, like it or not, I think Blizzard has to be the first mover on this. I don't think people like what Amaz did with 110 challenges is great and all, and Twitch picking it up was amazing, but at the end of the day, that's just a high score. You can
Yeah.
you can put
Yeah.
a bow
Sure.
on it. It's just a high score, and Blizzard has to do the major lifting when it comes to this.
Okay. Crip, obviously you and Ron have done Challenge Stone and just creative things, just to try
Yep.
to work around things, just to work around the client or whatever, any kind of limitations with that, or general events. Any ideas for an arena event that would be pretty would at least exemplify or just like show the highest skilled players and that sort of thing?
No, not really.
No ideas. That's
No, I mean,
not what we're looking for. Dang it.
anyone can just pick up Hearthstone, not really know what's going on, and get unbelievably lucky and go 12 wins. I mean, people watch tournaments because they think the better player is going to win more often than not, and to the degree that that happens is going to be more realistic than in an arena tournament.
Right.
Like in an arena tournament, the worst player is going to win probably close to 50%. Really close. And I mean, Hearthstone already struggles from that problem. The arena format is a more restrictive one within the game as a whole. So in Constructed, it's like, what cards do you want? Go play them. In Arena, it's like, you have to pick from these cards that are randomly selected after you get a random class, and then you try to make a deck out of it. So it's a restriction on the format already. It's not a surprise to me that it's difficult to make tournaments on it, because it's a more restrictive format than the regular tournament format. So I don't know. I enjoyed Lord of the Arena a lot. I think that format was good because it was pure to the arena format. I think it was particularly good when they introduced people who don't even play Hearthstone that much, because you kind of got to see the difference in play and decisions. And even though I guess some feelings were hurt and some people were like, oh man, this is so unprofessional, whatever, on Reddit, like in the end, I thought the tournament was a lot more fun that way. Just because it really promoted the good aspect of it. Like, Arena is just a more fun way to play the game. You get people who move into the tournament with the fun in mind rather than the competition in mind. I think it's actually better for everyone. I think the direction that people are trying to push the arena genre and the tournament scene is the wrong one. People barely care if you win an actual tournament. They're going to care a lot less if you care an arena tournament, because of the things I mentioned.
Not a bad point. But do you like this whole high score thing? Just leaderboard,
It's okay. I don't know. I don't find arena boring at all. I find it as the best way to play Hearthstone. And I also want to mention, like, the rewards in arena are bad. But if you compare them to the other aspects of the game, they're great. So,
wait, what? Wait, what do you mean?
What do you get for playing ranked? You get gold. 2 golden cards for the month. I just got 2 golden cards in my last arena run, right? So,
right.
I don't see that as an arena specific problem, more so as a Hearthstone problem. But I don't know. I'm more lighthearted about the competition of Hearthstone.
I'm thinking more just like getting tournaments out there so people can play.
I think the accessibility could be something that Blizzard should put an initiative on, like to just make it easier to do an event like Lord of the Arena. But I don't think there are too many stages past that. I don't think it's going to. You're just not going to have people take like arena tournaments seriously as a whole. So focusing on the serious side of it, I think, is not really the good direction to move it in.
I agree that focusing on the serious side is not the direction it should go. I think focusing on the community side is definitely the direction a limited format should go. I do think people do take it somewhat seriously, though. Like, just looking at Magic, it is like a legitimate format for a competition. Limited, and they maybe not like, it's not the exact format of Hearthstone or Arena, but it shares a lot of similar high RNG elements in deck creation. And so I think there's a model for it to be competitive. I think we're many steps away from that. The first step is to actually make people be able to play other people rather than just do co-ops. I love co-ops.
Sure.
We've been doing co-ops our entire time, but at the same time, we also want to play against people when we make these decks.
Well, I mean, we just want some kind of measuring stick too, right? There's these rankings that we all hear behind the scenes and stuff, but there's nothing that's like super public, and I don't know. It's just something that I think a lot of people would just like to see, like to know, or like to at least put people in this kind of gauntlet, when it comes to just the arena format as entertainment. You know, it doesn't matter about winning titles and stuff and events like that, but like Lord of the Arena got a ton of viewers. Like it was just fun. You know, it was fun, but it was also you saw skill involved. You saw all the skill of the arena players just drafting. I mean, we say that all the time in your streams and stuff, but I don't know. There's another element to it, right? When there's more parameters put to it, it's just one of those things that I think a lot of people would like to see.
I think
I want to
you're
mention that.
focusing on the different sides. You're focusing on, well, you can get a good event, people will have fun, and they'll watch it, and it'll be cool. Kripp is focusing on, okay, but that really doesn't show you anything close to who the best player is, no matter how you structure because of the format.
I mean, even arena tournaments aren't even true to the format. Like you're playing against other people.
Yeah.
I mean, not being able to draft 3 cards it's fine. Doesn't happen that often. But your arena is, everything's supposed to be random. You're supposed to get random cards. Your opponents are random. Maybe they're really good. Maybe they're really bad.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun. And when you're just drafting a deck and then playing against the same person 3 times, it's not so much arena anymore.
Yes.
And
you know what's in their deck on the second game. For instance.
That's true.
That's not arena at all, unless you're watching one of your fellow streamers.
Arena 2.0.
Yeah, so maybe I guess maybe leaderboard is the best thing that we have for a while now.
there's
Even that I kind of disagree with. I know a lot of people
Really?
love like
Okay.
arena rankings and stuff, and I think I'm in an okay position to criticize this because I think I'm doing okay.
Yes, you're doing pretty well. Griff. All of you guys are doing pretty well. Yeah.
I kind of feel like pressure to win, and that's good. And although I do pick a lot of the same classes, a lot of the best classes, I've generally picked things that I find most fun, and as it so happens, that's been Rogue and Mage for the last couple of years because those are the classes that you don't have to take like an absurd amount of risk. You don't have to pray your opponents have answers constantly. Those are generally the proactive classes, as we talked about.
that's the way to do it, though. Like we're not playing chess or something extremely competitive or high skill cap. It's supposed to be a fun game, and you should probably just play the classes you like playing.
Yeah. But I feel like the moment we have like public leaderboards, people are gonna take it so seriously. Like you are never going to see another priest in arena ever again.
That's probably true.
It will not happen.
Yeah.
So I think
get, like,
that
monthly
diminishes
leaderboards
the
then.
arena experience for a lot of people.
Well,
You get like a weekly leaderboard, then people would still experiment. It'd be like a fun thing.
I don't know.
No, but Krippa, you could have
Priest a lot.
you could have you could have leaderboards that are class specific, like just like the best priest arena player or the best that sort of thing, right? I mean that would be interesting.
Even then, to be good in a class, you have to experiment. So you'd have to have like class specific leaderboards by the week, and then when you're putting it that, you have the issue of how many priest arena runs can you actually do in a week? Like 3? Well, even if you're a really good priest, there's going to be some other guy out there that just got 12 wins 3 times. So it's a mess.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. It's a big mess. So I'm not surprised they haven't tried to sort it out.
It doesn't have to be so competitive either.
Yeah,
this is why I say you want to do things with the community as a whole. It doesn't have to be a leaderboard. Maybe it could be like 1 week. Blizzard makes it more likely that you draft cards that are already in your deck. So
we talk about it how it doesn't have to be competitive, and like the competitive scale of ranked is still kind of a joke. Like who really cares if you got legend, right? But people's you play ranked like a month ago. That's like 60% secret paladin, right? So you have like any form of competitive introduced into the format, and people do take that thing really seriously. And I think in ranked we see it. I think it obviously hurts the game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
People are not playing what they find fun in ladder. They just don't. That's the end of it. So I'd rather that not happen in arena.
Yeah, but
like I don't know. I have fun playing all classes. That's what I do in every game where there's not a specific physical penalty for me playing a class. Overwatch. I play all the classes because that's what I find fun, right? I don't do it because of any other reason. So I like to play all classes evenly, and I still play priest. I still play hunter, or I will play hunter and OG more when we get to. I've been playing more priest, but I think there's enough. I agree with Kripp that that influence is definitely going to happen once you put leaderboards on there. And there is a huge sample size problem because you just I don't know, Kripp says he's played 40, 50 runs. I've played 20 something runs. I don't know how many runs Ratsmah's played. And we do this a lot, right? That's why we're here on this show. because we do it a lot. So if you're a even slightly more casual person about the arena, you're just not going to get a sample size, and it will just be like the leaderboard will be filled with people with 12-win runs every single run, every week, because there's so many people, and that will happen if you narrow it down to class. And if you don't narrow it down to class, people will take Mage and Rogue and Paladin at every opportunity.
Right.
I don't have the solution to it. I definitely see Krip's problem, and I think it's probably not a dead end if people think more on it. There's got to be a way to separate out the super tryhards from the other people. Maybe like a reward system that rewards lesser played classes. If really the only problem is class, if we're also thinking about experimentation, maybe have higher rewards the more uncommonly picked the cards you pick are. That kind of
or
stuff.
just make
right?
the decks better. Give them like a free legendary in their deck, arena deck.
So
Give them
every
extra
priest,
rare.
three legendary.
Yeah,
Every
every
time I
priest
face
gets
a
an
priest,
extra legendary.
oh God,
How
Dr.
about
Boom.
this?
Oh no.
This is Krip tips for Blizzard. How about cards that you can't even get from packs anymore, like the new GVG and Nax
Look at that.
formats?
Look out.
Maybe have a rarity reworking. You know?
Yeah. That would actually be really good.
I fully support that.
Yeah. I think that
Even
would...
cards that you can get like classic and basic. I feel like the
Well,
first step should
Blizzard's
be.
dropped some excuses on those, so we're not doing that. You can forget that.
All right.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I just wanted to bring it up just because now there's another format which is Wild introduced. I just feel like there's just gonna be more and more formats, and I just don't want. I'd like to see arena because I watch you guys streams a lot, and I think you guys are super skilled. I mean, like very skilled, and a lot of times, you guys get recognized for it, at least you guys. But there are some other arena players that don't get recognized quite as much, and I think it has a little bit to do with just not very many venues to really get their names out there, for being good at a certain format in Hearthstone. But yeah, just something. All right, well, why don't we move on to viewer Q&A? Let's just get a few questions here before we wrap it up. It's been an awesome show. But before I start off, actually, there was one question I wanted to kind of kick things off with viewer Q&A, which was I wanted to ask you guys, I guess, what's your favorite just card is? Like, what card, that doesn't have to be the most powerful card or anything like that, but it's just one of those cards that, brings a smile to your face, or, it's just some kind of a comfort level card that when you get it, it's like fun or good or something, something about it. It can be an old card, it can be a new card. Rats is smiling. What's yours, buddy? What's yours?
Evolve, man.
Evolve? Okay, all right.
I just evolve. Even when I'm about to win, sometimes I BM and just evolve and see if I can get a charge to BM. I'm just so addicted to it. I think this has more to do with, like, I don't know, maybe I'm a fucking gambler, but
maybe Ratsmah.
Not maybe.
Okay, evolve. That's a fun
I'll
one.
go with another shaman card. I like Flame Tongue Totem for the exact opposite reason, because it kills the RNG. It makes all of my totems sacrificial 2 damage things that I keep on the board for 1 turn, and I throw it in the next turn, and it lets the shaman do what the shaman needs to do, which is to be able to take advantage of a wide board. I think that's very necessary for shaman gameplay, and there's not enough cards like that. Thunderbuff Valiant, I think, was an amazing card to come into the offering rates, but Flame Tongue Totem's the core. They got to make more cards like Flame Tongue Totem, or they have to up that offering rate.
Yeah, I agree with that. Krip? This would be a good one.
I didn't think about this too much, but I picked Southsea Squidface. Like every time I pick it, I think it's really cool, and like the tier lists don't agree with me.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of like that. It seems to be really good. It actually failed me pretty hard in my last arena run yesterday, but I played with it a lot up until then, and it's just even outside arena, it's really nice. It's a really cool card because, as I mentioned, you're almost always playing a hero power between turns 1 to 4, and usually that means 2. By the way, that doesn't usually mean 4. So
okay.
It adds that extra level of strategy where if you can set up a situation where you have a 2-charge weapon and you play Squidface on 4 in an even board state, you just kind of wreck your opponent.
Okay.
So that usually alters your play, and it promotes difficult decision making, and you get rewarded for it. Like if it works out, you're going to destroy your opponent. So I think it's a cool card. And Constructed is just insane with N'Zoth. It's insane with Raptor. You can play Brand Raptor, and you can have like a 30 attack weapon. It's just like hilarious.
Wow. Okay, that was an unexpected one, man. That's cool though. Definitely South Sea. It's a very, very cool one. Let's see. We've got a question. Oh, it's kind of a similar question, but do you guys have a favorite card that you know should be bad, but for whatever reason it always works overperforms for you in Arena? Anybody?
I mean, it's like raid leader stuff. Like those cards are pretty decent.
Raid leader? Okay.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, Ancient Mage has never been bad for me.
Ancient Mage. Oh wow. Okay.
And it should be horrible.
Wailing Soul. Wailing Soul. I don't know if it's with how I play. Wailing Soul tends to be better than just a blank 3/5. Like much better. Gets rid of debuffs and freeze effects. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have a much better answer. This is actually true, and I try to talk Merps into raising this every time on the tier list. Wisp and Tiny Fit. Every time I've had those cards in my deck, they've done okay. Like, I wouldn't say I'd take them over like a 2-drop or whatever.
What happened to the taunt meta? Do you know how many Wisps get eaten up by some of the cards you like?
I'm thinking historically. I have not tried a Wisp in the OG meta yet. This may not be the right meta to test my theory here.
That's for sure. Oh, man, that's good. All right. Oh, this is a good one. This is definitely a good one. Especially I've played a lot of Yogg decks recently. But if you got a minion up, but behind on the board, should I attack with it or before or after Yogging?
Which Yogg?
What do you mean which
Yogg?
Yogg-Saron. Yogg-Saron. Yeah.
Wait. Not
how
the
many
servant
spells
of
are we talking
Yogg-Saron, the
about?
actual legendary?
Yeah, the legendary.
Oh god.
Just assume that you've cast. I don't know. Assume that you cast like 10 spells, right? Just on average or something like that.
No, you attack. I think past like 4 you attack.
Okay. Oh, past like 4. Okay. I think that's
within
I think that's
7.
Right. Yeah.
Within 7, there's generally nothing left on the board. 7
I mean, are we
10
talking
is
because it might get buffed?
gone. No, it might be erased.
Well, there's multiple things. It could get buffed or it could get erased.
Literally
yeah,
anything could
it might get
happen.
buffed.
Oh yeah, it might get buffed. Yeah, for sure, it might get buffed.
Why don't you
Like,
just
if you-
always attack first?
Yeah, if you play like a
Yeah.
30 spell Yogg, there's like a good
no way.
Savage Roar, Bless Champion, Kings in there.
There's no way.
It's just
yeah.
usually after everything's dead, so it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably good. 4, I'd say maybe 6. I don't know. My experience is like either my entire board gets cleared like instantly and then it rebuilds, or it buffs the heck out of everything and then clears the board at the end whenever I play Yogg. So attack first. I think just get that value in and be happy.
I would consider attacking with everything before the Servant of Yogg-Saron, which is 1.
Yep.
Just from my traumatic experiences with the card.
Me too.
Nice.
That's what I do every time.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 more here. Rival Vinyl. Do you think adding in the Cthulhu minions to Arena would boost Priest up to your personal tier list? Example, the 4 mana 3/6. I guess the Priest getting that
Yeah,
card.
that's a big one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
That card's ridiculous if it was an Arena.
I think it would make Arena more fun.
Imagine you
oh,
Power War
yes.
Tentacles that.
Yeah.
5/12.
If you actually get to
Oh
draft
my
Cthulhu,
god. Yeah,
insane.
yeah. If you get to, I mean, how many times did you draft Cthulhu? Gosh.
There would only be one problem. It would be like Disciple of Cthulhu. That card is really annoying.
Disciple?
It's like SI for every class.
Yeah,
you
that's your
like
one.
lose your mind.
Oh,
It would annihilate 2 health minions.
It's
It's
one
like,
that deals 2
you're
damage.
just
Yeah.
not playing 2 health minions.
I thought that was just going to be good in every single deck in
Yup.
constructed, but it didn't quite get there. But in Arena, it would literally be good in everything. Be crazy good. So okay, that's an interesting thought though. I mean, they could just add them. I mean, just because you don't have
So the
Cthulhu.
problem is if they
It's just
add
like-
them, like from a game design perspective. Now that I don't know why they did it specifically, but they're all curve cards. It's like 80% just
Yeah,
like normal
they are.
vanilla on curve cards. That's the last thing this meta needs. Like more boring cards. I flipped completely on this because before OG, I was all about getting more vanilla minions in to stabilize everything. Things were getting a little out of control, and I wanted to like bring things back to classic. But now we are like back at classic. We may be even too much on the board back at classic. We definitely don't want to add a bunch of vanilla minions in this meta. This is not going to help things be more fun.
You miss GVG, man.
No,
GVG.
no, I
No
miss
balls on turn
things
3.
after GVG.
No balls on turn 3.
GBG was so bad. I spent like 2 months, like 2 wins per run below
Right.
my average or something before I eventually adapted.
Okay, last question, more of like a noob question, just for newer players. When should you figure out what type of deck your deck is? At card 15, I guess, which card, what card count, and is it advisable to change your deck strategy in the draft if you don't have any cards for your concept in the further draft?
I like any.
Uh,
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Eduardo,
Oh,
go
okay.
go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
when it comes to drafting and trying to like fit something in an archetype, you want to look at the cards, not just how many cards go by, but how many cards are the rare ones that you don't expect to get of that type that's already in your deck,
Yeah.
right? If you're trying to do aggro control and you start out with Shadow Strike, Eviscerate, you're good. Yeah, maybe switch over to mid range if you don't get any more removals, by pick like 25 or something. But generally, you should feel good about pushing your deck in that direction if those 3 cards are in your first 6 cards. On the other hand, if you get some 2 drops and 3 drops, that doesn't mean you go aggro control. That's not, you don't have the control part. That control part is the hard part. The aggro part is easy. There's plenty of 2 mana, 3 mana, 1 mana minions. Now you may lean a little bit towards it if you already have your curve filled out, but don't go crazy with it. Same with like snowball cards, right? If you have some engines on the board that'll keep generating you value, or if you have like buffs, those are the ones that are harder to get. So seeing more of those is what matters, not necessarily with number of cards. So I would go towards the archetype as early as pick number 3 if I have 2 cards that really fit something.
Okay. Ratsmah, anything to add to that?
I think like within your run, you're gonna be playing so many different roles. Like some games you're gonna be playing aggro, some games you're gonna be playing control, and you gotta know like how to kind of like shift your mentality towards playing whatever position you're put in. This goes into drafting as well. Like you gotta kind of leave a little bit of room where your deck can be very aggressive, but also can slow down and win like a value game. And those are the best decks. Those are the strongest decks that have that flexibility to play in multiple different ways. Not just you have one game plan. One game plan is weak. If that game plan fails, you lose. You want a lot.
Okay. Krip, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't been brought up, but it's just based on the class. I think some class are more one-dimensional in terms of what you can do. Like Hunter is fairly restrictive.
Yeah.
If you want your hero power to do anything, you have to play a tempo or aggro deck. So, taking a 9-mana minion on your first pick is not advisable.
Yeah.
Whereas in some other classes, it could be if it's the best card, if it's the highest weighted card. There's some classes that honestly from pick 1, you're quite restricted. And sometimes you might just play a certain class a particular way. Like if I'm picking rogue, am I playing a control rogue? I don't know. Maybe I'm playing control rogue. I'll pick this card on turn 2. No, I'm playing an aggro rogue.
Right.
I'm playing an aggressive or tempo rogue. So I know that my deck at the end is going to have like 2 cards over 6 mana. And if I have more than that, it's not great. So yeah, you kind of have to know what you're doing to start, but it happens to different degrees. Like mage, you honestly just keep picking the best cards. The thing that is important to realize is your ability to skew from the norm gradually weighs as you draft. So if you're playing an aggro deck and you're on like pick 28 and you have Wisp versus like the new 8 mana 6/10 and like I don't know, let's just say Boulder Fist Ogre, you will probably pick the Wisp. But if it's like pick number 10 and you still think you're playing an aggro deck, you'll probably pick the Boulder Fist because you're not as like your confidence in what you're playing extends to where you are in the draft.
Okay, yeah, definitely great advice. Something you just kind of feel out to. These guys have obviously have like tens of thousands of games underneath their belts, so they've gotten a great feel for how it works, and it's just one of those things that everybody does gets a just kind of your own type of style and things. But yeah, that's going to be it for the show, guys. Great episode. I love having you guys on. We don't get a chance to do enough of these arena episodes, but whenever the expansions come out, always a great time to get just your take on everything. But why don't we do some shout outs? Start with Ratsmah, kind of go around.
Shout out to my mom. Shout out to ADWCTA. Shout out to Krip. Shout out to ChanManV, Temple Storm. You can find me on twitch.tv/Ratsmah. I think that's it.
He won't be sleeping though, guys. He won't be sleeping.
Oh yeah, I did have a sleep stream earlier. Oh my god, first time ever.
ADWCTA, you gonna do a shout out?
Yeah, so for a shout out to Blizzard, I love how much the game is balanced now for the warrior in the arena. It's really been the best thing in the arena for me. Besides that, we've also we don't stream on twitch.tv/ADWCTA anymore. Me and Merps, he's my streaming buddy. We now go by Grin and Goat. We've always gone by Grin and Goat, but now it's actually twitch.tv/Grin and Goat.
I thought it was always Grinding Goat.
Grinding Goat.
That would probably fit more. We grin not very often, and we
You should have taken Krip's marketing advice there with Grinding Goat.
Should have talked to Krip first before we got this.
Man.
So that's where we are now, and our tier list also moved from our old website to thelightforge.com. So
nice.
that's where you find our tier list now. That's where you find our stream now, and we won't be moving anymore. This is final. I'm done. It takes so much time to do this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Krip.
Well, I'm gonna go with ADWCTA here. I think Blizzard did a really good job on this expansion. I know you guys don't play the constructed game very much. I mean, I don't play the constructed very much, but
I do.
I've had a blast playing that. Just so many cool cards to experiment with. The legendaries, particularly the old gods, have a lot of depth. And it's just fun to play, and it's still semi-competitive if you want to play that way. And a lot of that has translated in Arena as well. A lot of the classes are more fun to play than before. And honestly, a lot of the classes I just liked playing before, I just like to play them more. Like, I like to play Rogue more because I feel I have more early game control. I like to play Mage more because I feel like I just get a better deck every time. I like to play Warlock more because I can more often draft a Zoo deck. I like to play Warrior more because I get more weapons. So I think they've really did a good job for at least 6 classes in Arena.
Well, that's 3 more than it was before, so
that's true.
That's true. Looking good.
That's true. On the right path. So I just round things out. Thanks to the 3 of you guys, Ratsmah, ADWCTA, and Krip for doing the show with me this week. And a quick shout out just to the patrons. We do have a patron for ValueTown, patreon.com/ValueTown. So if you want to pledge, support the show, you can do that there. But we do want to give a few shout outs to some of them: CJ Hines, Shane Sherman, Lucas Capdeville, Jacob Sebastian Fell, Gary DeRoche, Atomic Junkie, Vincent Gobel, and Michael Lucy. Thanks so much for being patrons. And then also for all the audio folks. A lot of people listen to the show on just audio podcasts now. It helps a lot, just to rate the show or review the show. So if you like the show, rate it and leave a review. Only if you like it though. Just leave a review. Big shout out to Tempest22 and JazzCat for the latest reviews. But the VODs will be up shortly at youtube.com/ChanManV as always. And next week we'll be back to, Noxious and Reynad will probably be back. We'll be talking Constructed again. But we'll try to have these Arena episodes, just every expansion or something like that. It'd be great to have these guys back. Okay, guys. Well,